guys, come and join me. You're not in the wrong show.
Hello， 大家好，我们是奶度夫妻。
So we have a special guest today, as you can see.
Alex.
我们今天要讨论的主题是混血儿，好帅、好美、好困扰。混血儿到底是一个礼物呢，还是一个困扰呢？那今天在座的我不是混血儿，他们两个都是混血儿。今天要跟大家分享混血儿到底有什么有趣的故事呢？希望大家不要介意我们边吃边讲，因为我们现在刚好是晚餐时间，所以今天的影片呢是比较轻松的，大家边吃边聊这个问题这样子。那我今天准备了几个题目，就是关于混血儿，大家通常都会有什么疑问
I would say it's a mix between two. So people always assume that okay, mix. Oh, you guys gonna look good, blah blah blah, because you have two races and look and stuff. But have you seen any mixed blood? They look like those animals, you know. Those proboscis, you know, the monkey with the big nose. I mean, okay, we couldn't judge everybody's like that. I mean, everybody have their own look, but you shouldn't put them in that manner.
Looks, it can be bad, but for us, we are the lucky ones.
I know, but you know, I have a friend. She is Chinese, so she married to another Chindian boy. So after she married, she was like, "Oh my god, I have my kids," and then yes, she gave birth to a boy. I mean, come on, she looks like a pig. My friends look like a pig as well. Oh, my kids are mixed, blah blah blah. She's gonna put them in diapers commercial as what? The shit of the diapers. You know what I mean? You cannot be too proud of yourself. I mean, all of us are human beings. Yeah, there's a good thing about mix and there's a bad thing about mix, but it depends on the situation.
Yes.
Yes.
So in terms of gift, I wouldn't say look is our gift because you don't have to be a mix to be good looking. Everyone is good looking in their own way.
Precisely, yeah. I would say cultures between two races. How do you brought up? What do you learn? The food that you eat, and it's so different. It's so from two different worlds. Yet you blend into it. It's two different things. But a lot of people don't get it.
You just don't get it, do ya?
So I think that's the privilege of what we have.
I can't stop eating.
As a mix, I found that we are more likely to be open up to different cultures and experience different ethnicity as compared to pure blood that I found really helped me in my life.
Any troubles? Maybe like you got bullied before, or or maybe people think that you're popular, you're pretty, you're handsome.
Oh, that's always.
Not for me.
I mean, you couldn't say us we are looking good or whatsoever. Just blame our parents. Just blame our parents. It's not our fault. You know?
So do you have a lot of troubles like in your childhood or your school days?
I do have troubles because of my names. Including nowadays, you know, I have a very typical Chinese name. So anybody talks to me, they'll be like, "Oh wow, you have a typical Chinese name, blah blah blah." Yet they'll say, "So are you Malay mixed Chinese?" All these things. So okay, in Malaysia and Singapore, whoever Malay mixed with Chinese, you definitely have a Malay name. Because you have to go through a certain process in order for you to become blah blah blah. So you have a Malay name. If I have a Chinese name, which means my father is Chinese, my mom is Indian. However, like Tiran, Tiran have Indian name.
Very Indian name.
So his father is Indian and his mom is Chinese. So guys, don't get confused.
Yeah.
It's opposite.
Yeah, we're both Indian, just the other way around.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Alex, but more often I got misunderstood as a different race.
Okay.
Not just the name, because I don't know, just from first impressions, they were more often thought that I'm a Malay than a Chinese or Indian. I mean, at first I felt very agitated because I don't even have a Malay blood, but I more often assume as a Malay, so it's quite demotivating. But then growing up, you know, it's kind of a Chindian thing to be assumed as a Malay like, most of the time.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So throughout, I learned to accept it, and I know that people more often asking because they thought you're special. That's all.
Yeah. But it's just like the experience that I had when I was in Malaysia. So what happened was I was in the shopping mall. So I was eating with the other friend. So none of us are Muslim. So while we are having our meal, so this lady came. Because this Muslim lady came. She came and then she was like, "Do you know you are coming to a sin right now?" You are eating during fasting month. What? Because it was a fasting month. So both of us got shocked. No, what are you trying to say? Then I asked her, I say, so what are you assuming? She said that she started to preach us, blah, blah, blah. I just look at her, I just said, bitch, I will go to your house. I recall that, oh my god, they are Muslims, they don't have dogs. I probably should say cats, you know. Cats. I'm sorry. Whoever she is, you know. Hi.
Especially in fasting season, we had a lot of different weird, funny encounters. I had one in KL when I was just trying to get to order myself a McDonald's meals because I was really starving. And then I was at the counter and I was speaking to the lady, can I have this and that? And she was like, yeah, of course, but you cannot have it here.
No!
She meant you cannot dine in, you have to take out. You have so many tables that are empty, why can't you just eat here? She said it's because it's fasting season. These are the things that we go through.
Yeah,
every fasting season, like explaining ourselves, even have to show our ID sometimes. Like,
oh my god,
yes.
It's ridiculous when you think of it.
It's difficult, yeah. I had a random person, I had Facebook before. So what I did was, this guy just randomly messaged me. Do you know the pop-up message? Mm-hmm. I said, oh, blah, blah, blah. You are mixed blood and your blood is dirty. All these things. So I was like,
oh my gosh.
I don't even know you at the first place. You know? So and he's from some random country, you know, countries that don't really do well. So yeah, so I was like, what are you trying to say? But I couldn't bother. You know what I did? I cancel. I blocked him from Facebook. I unsubscribed to UNICEF, you know, so that they can cut the water supply to the country. Yeah. It's like, shit, this is not real, you know. How could you say that and you don't even know me?
他直接 text 你。
You know,
yeah,
people are weird.
有没有这种人家欺负你们的？就是像这种是比较言语的威胁啊，或者羞辱，有没有那种就是可能
殴打
之类的
Okay. More of it was this verbal abuse, like, you know, calling you 杂种. You know, what's that? How do you say in English? Mixed trash?
Yeah, in Harry Potter, where they call it mudblood.
Filthy little mudblood.
I had a very terrible experience
Oh my
in
God.
school. So what happened was I was 7 years old, so 6 or 7. I was in primary 1 or standard 1 back in Malaysia. So what happened was I can't speak Mandarin at all. I have zero knowledge about Mandarin. So I went to school, and then back in Malaysia, if you go to Chinese school, your math, science, everything is in Chinese. It's in Mandarin.
Yes.
So I don't understand a single word. So what I did was, I asked my teacher. She was a fat lady, fat bitch. She has very white color blouse. So I asked her, I said, I don't understand what you're trying to say. Can you explain to me? She started to yell at me, and I got angry. So you know when you're kids, you just use your eraser and then you are playing like that. I just take the pencil. So I feel like, oh shit, you know, she looks like an eraser. I want to poke her stomach, you know. you know the eraser used to poke. Yeah, I got the same feeling, but I did not do that. So I just ran into her and bite her stomach. That doesn't happen. I was scared. No, it doesn't happen. I was scared, you know. This happened in my workplace. So my supervisor, so he was asking me, oh, hi Alex, I assume that you are mixed. I say yes. Okay, for your information, my father mixed too. My grandfather is from Kaohsiung and my grandmother is from southern part of Thailand. So my father is mixed. And he married my mom. My mom is Indian, Malaysian Indian. So I explained to him, blah, blah, blah. So the moment he looked at me, he was like, oh, I bet your mom must be pretty. If not, your father wouldn't even marry her.
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
I looked at him, I just answered him, excuse me? And then he said, oh, bro, I doesn't want you to get offended. So
Then why you say that?
So that's the way to talk to people.
Yeah.
You know, you fall under category of offensive rather than you are asking a question to another person. So I think this is very stupid. With last question, you better don't ask. I hope he died in a car crash.
Oh my god. 有没有任何 differences in parental guidance from both sides?
I speak only Mandarin to my mom. And I speak English to my dad. But the funniest part is, they speak Hokkien to themselves.
What?
I'm like, what is going on? But this is the way. This is how I grew up. But I never questions like, hey, you know, Dad, since you can speak Hokkien, why don't you just speak Hokkien to us, or
true.
Make it simple? Why do we have like 3 languages going around like in each conversation? It's a lot to take in sometimes, especially when you're a child.
Do you have any differences?
The difference is same like Tyrion. I have the same thing, similar everything. But my dad, he refused to speak Hokkien to us. So, however, we spoke English throughout. But my mom, she's Indian, but she speaks her native language called Telugu. So I can speak Telugu very well.
Oh,
Yeah, you can
good.
ask anything. Subscribe below. But you wanna ask me, okay? I can speak a little Thai from southern part because my grandma, she only speaks Thai. So I know several languages. So
Wow, that's a privilege,
yeah,
right?
it's a privilege. Yeah. First time I met her, and then in our workplace, so I spoke Mandarin to her. She got shocked.
Yeah,
She
of
was like,
course.
你会说中文吗?
Oh.
I was like, yeah, I'm Chinese. Then she was
Because
like,
this look,
yeah.
I know that you have a Chinese name, but
Yeah,
still.
yeah, she can't accept the fact that I can speak Mandarin to her.
Yeah.
And after I explained to her, she said,
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
this is
that's
the
the-
reaction. This is the exact reaction she had.
那很多人说混血儿的基因比较好，所以混血儿都特别聪明。Do you think so?
Okay, I don't think that I'm super smart, but I know that I'm not stupid. 有先天性跟后天性的。先天性可能就我也不确定是不是真的，但是后天性 like you know growing up as a mix you have to speak different language like most of the time, and then you know when a kid having a lot to process at the same time, I mean maybe that's why we use a lot of brain cells, you know, when we're young.
Yeah.
So we became, you know, activated as a smart ass.
But I do agree with him because when you are young, I would say that you absorb whatever people are teaching.
所以也让你们的适应能力很好啊。你们被丢在任何的环境，你们就是可以很快的就是适应。
Yeah, I mean, if I'm young, I mean, you throw me in Africa, probably now I can speak with you, you know?
那你会不会就是觉得自己不属于任何一个种族？
It never makes me feel like I belong to either one of it because I'm more one Malaysia guy.
Me too. But the thing is, if you go to temple, Indian temple, so people will look at you like you're alien. And however, you go to Chinese temple, people will look at you like you're alien too. So this is the differences that you get. You know, people will judge you
by the look.
by the look. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Don't get us wrong. We are very nice people. We love to mix with others as much as we can. And we, no doubt, we mix really well as compared to any other races because the way we are, our appearance, but just we don't really belong to any other races because we don't want to decide. It doesn't matter what race you are. I mean, we are human after all, am I right?
That's true. That's right.
对，那 flaws 呢？
Flawless.
Yeah, we already know the Beyonce flawless, you know.
We flawless.
这个时代真的非常多的混血儿了，混血儿其实已经不是一个很稀奇的东西。那你们觉得，就是身为一个混血儿，有没有什么 survival tips？
Be chill about things. I mean, growing up, there can be a lot of assumptions made on you, a lot of discriminations, a lot of misunderstanding.
Yes.
But even if you're gonna be angry or be sad about everything, you're gonna probably be sad your whole childhood.
Of course.
That's what I'm gonna say, honestly.
You don't have to pretend to be someone else. Just be yourself.
And be proud of a mixed blood.
Yes. Chindian forever.
Chindian hashtag.
Chindian hashtag.
好，那今天的影片就大概到这里了。希望大家在路上看到混血儿，可以给他们多一点空间。我们要特别感谢就是我们的特别来宾 Alex。
Thank you so much. Thank you. 谢谢大家。
那我们今天的影片就到这里，下次见喽，拜拜。
Bye.